Hi, this is Big Geek and I'm Dan. Welcome back to the workshop. So as you've seen, I've got a fancy new solder station. It was a gift from Kaiweets. I don't have to say anything particularly nice about it, but it was very kind of them to send me one. I needed one because I've been working on my lead screw project, doing a lot more soldering recently, and my old soldering iron was, well, old. In fact, let me just grab that just so we can do a bit of a comparison. This is what I've been using for years and years. And if we can zoom in on the quality of this tip. Kind of see it's somewhat bent at this point. It's been abused, and I actually have no idea where I'd even get replacements for this tip type anymore. It's not been so bad. This was an 18 watt thing, and I had this kind of little spring-loaded holder for it, which is sort of fine. It's doing the job, but doesn't react very quickly. It's a bit of a one-note beast. You only have one temperature, and it takes a little while to get up to temperature. And to say the tip on it could probably use replacing, and I haven't done that. Anyway, that's what I've been using for a while, and then recently, Kaiweets reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in trying out our solder station? See what you think." Yeah, so this is it. It comes as a few different pieces. So we have the main body of the beast right here, and the soldering iron itself plugs in front with like a little 5-pin socket right there. And this comes sort of off, and you have this base plate unit that has little grippers on either side and a magnifying glass at the back, which is quite nice. So you can kind of use them separately or together. This sits solidly in place. What I might end up doing is putting some thread locker on the screws that hold these in place, because as I have been manipulating them around, they do eventually want to kind of start working loose at the base. But so far, a little bit of practice, I'm surprised at actually how strongly these hold in place. I kind of expected that as I tried to work on something, they would kind of drift off, or, you know, not really support enough, particularly up in the air. But they're pretty firm, like certainly firm enough for light soldering. Then, of course, you've got the base unit that the soldering iron actually sits in, which has some like copper mesh stuff, whatever you call that, to wipe the tip on, which is quite a solid feeling base station. One of the things I quite like about this is the where the soldering iron sits is a like a fully gripped thing. So whereas with my springy whatnot that I've been using for a long time, the that spring thing kind of held, but it wasn't super secure. I was always a little bit worried that I might accidentally kick the soldering iron out or catch the wire or whatever. So I quite like having a more secure hold on the soldering iron when it's not in use. It also comes with a bunch of tips. These are 900M soldering iron tips, so these are just a standard thing. You can buy sets of them, which is nice, easy to replace. There are a couple of different sizes of sort of fine point, slightly bigger point than like a real chisel tip for kind of more wood burning marking, and a thicker, let's see, round tip. How easy that is to see at that distance. So I did have a bit of a play quickly with just burning wood. I'm not not particularly skilled at such things. I'm not sure how much I'll use it for this kind of purpose, particularly because I have the laser. If I want to burn wood, I'm pretty much going to do it with the laser. So I'm probably going to stick to soldering type activities, of which I have many to do, PCBs, and so having those fine points are very nice. Also, stuff like joining wires together, splicing wires and heat shrinking around them, sort of usual kind of things. So what is there really to say about a soldering station? I mean, it gets hot when you turn it on. It has a dial, so it has a range of temperatures that it will go to. So according to this dial, at its lowest, it's about 200 degrees C, and it goes all the way up to 500. Now, somewhere I have a thermometer thing that I was going to try and measure how accurate that is, but I don't know where that thermometer thing is. I've been looking, but I can't find it. I do have like a little infrared heat camera thing, which I tried. It says 136. It certainly says it's very, very hot. So I think 136 is the absolute upper limit of this thing. So the fact that it's locked at that just means it's hotter than 136. So there's no way to validate whether the dial is accurate or not, but when it's on its hottest, it sure as hell is really hot. It certainly burns wood very easily. It just let me press the tip right in there, almost like the wood was dissolving underneath it. So it does get really extremely very hot. And obviously its primary function for me is to be a soldering iron, and it does a very good job of being a soldering iron. So make of that what you will. I think I'm going to stop messing around and start actually getting some work done with the soldering iron. So thanks for watching. See you later.